Welcome to the Genius Alchemist podcast. I'm your host, Sarah McBride, and in today's episode, I will be talking about psychic attack, what that means, how we can clear ourselves from psychic attack, misconceptions around psychic attack, protecting ourselves and our energy, and what all of those things look like in day-to-day life, because there is many misconceptions around psychic attack, and usually when people think of psychic attack, they think of somebody sitting there and doing some sort of spell, voodoo, having a voodoo doll and really trying to destroy somebody's life. But actually that's not the case, and it's not true. And when you learn to follow the signs, listen to your intuition, and generally become really self-aware and aware of the signs from the universe, you can prevent these episodes from happening. So I'll start by telling you why the podcast topic came up. So one of my lovely clients came over to give me a healing massage, and as we're in this journey, so it's cacao, blue lotus, and then it goes into a 3-hour massage with Indian head massage, reflexology, and lomi lobi is the type of massage that it is. And it's about calming your nervous system, putting you in a space of relaxation, and in that space it can also make you become really present, really aware, heightened intuition. And what happened was, I'm in this space today and I'm in a really present space, and she knocks something off as she's doing the massage, and she moves around the bed, and in my awareness it came, she may have knocked the evil eye amulet that I have hanging up. Now there's a reason that come into my mind, because for anyone that doesn't know what one is, it's said to, when you wear it, so the carrier, or put in a room, to ward off any evil spirits, negative intent, the evil eye, somebody being jealous, and it wards all of that energy off. Now why did that come into my awareness? So I asked her, I said, what did you knock off? And she said, it was the dream catcher. So I thought, okay, it was the dream catcher. And then that put into my awareness, well, actually, I've been having some dreams that I need to recall. And the dreams may not have been particularly good dreams. I wouldn't go as far as to say nightmares, but things coming up in the dreams that aren't pleasant. So from that point, I thought, okay, maybe it's a sign to look into the dreams and some of the negativity and negative happenings in those dreams. So I mentioned it to her. And as I said it to her, I said, actually, I thought it was going to be the evil eye, because I thought the universe was sending me a sign. And as I said that, all of the books on my bookshelf fell over like dominoes. And actually the books wasn't touching us, she wasn't near them, and they were behind the evil eye amulet. So for me, there's a sign. Okay, that's my first sign. There's something that I need to look at. And the more I started going into it, in this present state, I started getting signs. Okay, my intuition's coming in. Someone around me is psychically attacking me. So energetically, the last few days, my energy's been off. I thought it was this planetary shift. So there was an astrological shift with Pluto into Aquarius. So I thought, well, it was that. The realization of actually there was a psychic attack, and becoming hyper aware, super attuned, and then having that in my awareness what happened is I started to notice sensations in my body. Left side, okay, feminine. Specific area, okay, this is now linked to my pituitary, this is linked to my third eye, this is what's going on. And I won't go into the whole story, but I decoded who it was very quickly and why. So anyway, I started explaining to Katie, who was doing the massage, about the psychic attack, and you know, she's witnessing this unfolding, and it then inspired me to talk about it in a little bit more detail, because not many people will become aware that it's happening to them, because they don't actually realise that how prevalent it is, should we say. And there's lots of ways that somebody can psychically attack you. And it can be bullying. So maybe when you're having bullying in the workplace, that's also a form of psychic attack, because you're using a lot of mental energy, you're feeling a certain way. Somebody that's even got jealousy and envy towards you, which is why the evil eye is to ward off jealousy. If somebody has lots of jealousy and envy, they can almost project an imagining your downfall, because they don't hold you in the highest good. They don't want you to do good in life. So again, they're visualizing and manifesting on your behalf. Now, everything is a co-creation. So individually, they can't overcome you and create catalyst, a catastrophic events in your life. However, what they can do is they can make you feel lethargic, energetically drained. You start overthinking yourself, or what's happening, what's this feeling, because you become attuned to that energy within your field that they're projecting. So depending on how you deal with that energy, if you're able to clear it very quickly, or whether it's something that stays with you, then you're using and wasting a lot of mental energy thinking about it. So that's another form. And people actually do mental rehearsals of specific people, other people around them, which are filled with negativity, despair. They're projecting a reality for someone else and pulling them into that. Again, that's a form of psychic attack. And I'll briefly tell a story without mentioning any names of somebody that I came across a few years ago now, who I witnessed him doing it to women. He was a healer in the healing space, and basically he would tell lots of different women, crossing boundaries, even clients. He would tell them that he was in love with them, he would be flirtatious with them, and he would be creating these psychic cords and bonds between the two. And then he would create confusion for the person. So then all of the women that he was doing this to were living in this cloud of mental confusion, and that was feeding him. He was feeding off that energy. So although he wasn't doing it in a nasty way, he was doing it in a narcissistic way. He was looking for what the wounds was, and he was getting himself in. He was acting charming. That is still a form of psychic attack, and actually he's probably one of the most dangerous people I've seen when it comes to psychic attack. And all of these women that are obsessing, overthinking, they're saying that he's visiting them in dreams because constantly they're just overthinking. Actually, I confronted him, and he blamed something else why it was happening, but he acknowledged that it was happening. And saying that it was something demonic that got hold of him. Now, again, whether that's true or not, there's no responsibility, no personal responsibility in the actions, and many people learn to feed off each other energetically. That is one of the most dangerous forms of psychic attack. Even codependent relationships can end up in psychic attack. ex-partners overthinking, obsessing about the relationship breakdown, can be psychic attack. So it's really important that we look at our lives when we look at ourselves, our relationships coming under attack from others energetically, even our business when people don't want to see you do well. All forms of psychic attack. So this message is for you to really think about how you move through the world. Do you feel protected? Do you have boundaries in place? Because how to prevent psychic attack is not just by what people may think as reversal spells, protection spells. You can actually put some real tangible practices in place, one of them being your boundaries. Because putting physical boundaries in with people can stop them imprinting on your psyche. It can stop them draining you, your home, even your business, your relationship. All of that mental confusion that you may be feeling could be psychic attack. So setting boundaries, in my opinion, is one of the best practices that you can actually do. And that is physically, so by speaking them out. And as we know, we create as we speak. So speaking to people what the boundaries are. Learning when your boundaries are being crossed, so recognising that when someone's crossing your boundaries, learning to speak up. And also setting healthy boundaries in how people can access you and how much access they have to you. And that can even look like a set of processes in your business, because I know in my line of work, I get a lot of people on social media reach out to me because they want some sort of support, assistance, guidance with something. And for me, I've got to maintain boundaries, because if I speak to every single person that reaches out to me, then I wouldn't have a life. I wouldn't be able to do anything myself. So I learned the hard way, putting those boundaries in place, and now I have cut-off times where I don't answer messages. I have automations on social media, so I don't have to answer everybody. And I've noticed people can become really annoyed or angry when you don't get back to them, or if they send you a message asking your advice or opinion, and then they can project all of that onto you. You're meant to help people and you're not replying to my messages. Again, even that can result in psychic attack, and we have to be really firm with those boundaries. And I'll tell you a small story about, I think it was 2016 it started for me, where I had my healing and wellness centre and my boundaries were really low, they were really poor, and I wasn't even aware of them. I wasn't even aware how bad my boundaries were, but other people did notice and fed it back to me. And it's interesting because I went through a really tough time in 2016 where I was burgled, my home was burgled, and then about 5-6 months later it burgled again. And it was devastating at the time how it made me feel, but I was always looking for the lesson. And I remember someone talking about my boundaries, and the way in which they spoke about my boundaries in my centre, where I wanted to help everyone, people were getting discounts, and there's nothing wrong with giving discounts, but if it's at your expense and you're overworking and burnt out as a consequence, then that shouldn't be happening. But for me at that time it was. And I remember somebody saying to me, you may as well just open the front door to your house and let people walk in. With the way people take from you in this centre, all these supposed world-renowned healers who were coming in and arguing over percentages and wanting to take more and more and more, and then we'd spend hours on marketing and getting it right, so then the events would be full, and then they want more and more and more. without caring at my expense of what we put into the centre and to get people out there and visible. And when my member of staff at the time said to me, you may as well open your front door and let people walk in your house, I've realised, actually, that's what I've done. My energetic boundaries were so low and I wasn't listening, and I had such a lack of awareness around it that sometimes the universe will teach you huge lessons through other people. And that's what I put those burglaries down to. And from that day, that realisation, I've never had an instant like that happen again. And my boundaries have only got stronger and stronger as the years have gone by. And people know what they can and can't do around me because I make it clear. I'm more clearer with clients. If this is me business phone, this isn't. Message me work-related things on this phone or that phone. I'm not going to reply over a weekend or at a certain time. And they're all things not coming from arrogance, but they're coming from protecting your energy and your energy field. So there's a lot to be said for having real strong boundaries in place. Another one is just grounding. Starting the day with some sort of grounding exercise. And that could be a walk in nature. It could be bare feet on the soil, earthing. It could be a visualization or a meditation practice. But something which gets you in your body. Because when you're in your body, that's when you can see, sense and feel what's going on, any energetic shifts and all of the signs. And even doing this will strengthen your energetic field as well. So the more connected to nature, the stronger our energetic field is. And then those psychic attacks won't be as strong. So when you run down is when you're more susceptible. So if you're overworking, if you run down, if you've had a busy couple of weeks, which I did the last few weeks, you're more susceptible. So strengthening your energetic field in that way. I like to walk in nature. That's my preferred method. Animals as well really help to ground me. Clearing your energy field. So there are lots of ways that you can create some sort of energetic practices for keeping yourself cleansed, strengthened. You know, and I'm not all about saging the house and then that being it. You know, for me, sound's a huge one. So listening to specific energy shifting and clearing sounds to break any dense energy around your home. Another one could be yourself actually getting into a bath, and I like to use Epsom salt with like some essential oils, so depending on what essential oils that you like to use, and it's a really grounding practice with the salt as well. And you can visualize any debris moving from your body, your energetic field into the water, and then just getting swept away. There are other things that you can do, like there's some really strong protective crystals out there as well. You know, I prefer the darker ones like your black tourmaline, your obsidian, your jet, to just deflect any negative energy and entities away from me as well. But again, the most important thing is that being in the present moment, and then from that present moment, that knowing and that sense that you can listen and follow the signs, because when you can do that, you can prevent it from happening. Prevention is obviously better than cure. I will do some more future podcasts about protection, energetic forms of protection, what you can do. But today it was more about raising awareness around psychic attack, what it actually means, and making sure that you're not susceptible to it. You're not leaving yourself open to it. So knowing that it can come in many forms, and whatever form it comes in, being prepared for that. Thank you for tuning in to the Genius Alchemist podcast. If this episode has ignited your curiosity or inspired you in some way, then I encourage you to subscribe and share with friends. For those that want to stay in the loop and be the first to know about future episodes, special offers and free resources, make sure to check out the link in the show notes. By joining my mailing list or reaching out through that link, you'll have exclusive access to all the latest updates and ways that you can connect with me. I look forward to sharing more inspiring stories with you all in future episodes.